I knew both of them very well, and each had a significant role to play in the development of America. But they were completely different in terms of their background. I mean, Malcolm X was self-educated. He taught himself in jail. He came from a very rough background and had a very hard childhood and teenage life. Martin Luther King was a black prince. His daddy was the biggest preacher in town. His granddaddy had been a big preacher. The family helped start a bank and real estate. From the day he was born, it was understood that he was going to get a PhD in something. I mean, he lived a very privileged childhood. So a lot more was expected of him than could have been expected of Malcolm. And one of the arguments I always have when I go to Morehouse is that they want to equate Martin Luther King and Malcolm X like there's some tension between violence and nonviolence. Well, that's a lot of crap. Violence never did anything but get a whole lot of folk killed for nothing. And Malcolm never killed anybody. Malcolm never hurt anybody. Malcolm simply talked about self-pride and pride in your racial heritage. But a lot of people misinterpreted Malcolm because he said we need to achieve our freedom by any means necessary. That doesn't mean that you're going to achieve your freedom by violence. There's very little been achieved by violence in this country. And usually violence sets back the achievements we've had. Whereas almost everything that Martin Luther King and the nonviolent movement started by students set out to do made significant achievements. And they weren't accidental achievements. We knew what we were trying to do. It didn't happen the way we thought it was going to happen, but we knew we had to have the right to vote. We knew we had to be respected in the workforce, and we had to get job opportunities. We knew that we could not let people keep us out of higher education simply because of the color of our skins. And so almost all of the job opportunities, black folk work in just about every business in Atlanta, but they don't know how they got there. But a group of preachers went to every business, one at a time, and they said, if you don't hire black people will not buy your product. We're all where we are because somebody else sacrificed. Somebody else paid a price. See, if not for your education, your grandmama's education, your mama's education. See, but we are all building on the hard work and the sacrifice and sufferings of our forefathers and mothers. And so if we are just going to take it for ourselves and we're going to evaluate how successful we are by the kind of shoes we wear, we're in trouble.